for Black girl nerds.
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to talk to you and to see your face.
It's good to talk to you too. I love your green. That's my favorite color.
Oh, thank you.
Green for the money, gold for the honeys.
That's right, girl.
Well, we are in some exciting times. What was already a super duper successful trailblazing project that you participated in with Hamilton is now going to the next level and going to Disney Plus. What are your feelings as we get closer and closer to the launch date on Disney Plus?
So many feelings. Hamilton it's like the sun. It's so big. It's life-giving, and it can also scorch you because it feels like, it's so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited to be connected with my family again. We had all these reunions through COVID, and that one we had a brief one for that Some Good News show. But right now I'm just enjoying being back with that group of people and taking an opportunity to I think I should say what's most important to us right now is to make sure that anything that goes in the airwaves that we're a part of is not a distraction, but actually focuses people's attention into the opportunity that we have right now for change. I think there is a perfect storm in the world right now, which we didn't even understand as it was developing what it was leading us to. And there's probably more that we don't even know yet. And somehow or another, Hamilton is coming out. We didn't even see this coming at the same time. And it's our responsibility to make sure that it adds to the right conversation. And to do that with this group of people, with this musical, is such a gift in my life. I can't even tell you.
With this musical, I just love the way you articulated that. And it's almost like it's landing at a time when people need to see those different images to continue the discussions that are already happening with all the events that are happening in the world, with the protests, with people just really feeling empowered and not feeling like the little guy anymore, but that they can be part of a mass movement in any capacity. With Hamilton, obviously the accolades and everything are wonderful. The Tony, everything is fantastic. But how do you think participating in it has changed you personally?
Girl, it makes me ask myself bigger questions. You go into this business, whatever you do, you're always asking yourself, what is my purpose? But as an actor, I think you say a lot, you talk a lot about what you would do with a platform, or if you had an opportunity to speak to young people, what would you do with it? I find myself praying a lot about why did this happen to me? If with the kinds of blessings it brings, which are really bigger than what I asked for. I didn't know to ask for this from being a theater geek. I didn't even know this was possible, right? That's what the Lord does, right? And so I ask myself quite often, why, what am I going to do with this opportunity? If some kid is going to look at me and say, I see you, and I have the opportunity to say, I see you back, what's after that? What am I going to say? I needed that when I was growing up. I mean, I grew up in Houston, Texas, during kind of Reaganomics in a very white world, and I was desperate to see myself anywhere. And what I love about this musical is this very diverse group of people are playing the forefathers and foremothers of our country. For young people, there are communities as big as Hamilton was. There are communities, our communities, that have never seen Hamilton, don't even know anything about it, and it's just theater is too exclusive. And now it's going to be in someone's home, and so the prayer is they will turn on the television and they will see themselves, and And I'm just really excited about that. And I'm hoping that it gives them some ownership when they're asking, what is this country that I'm in, and how did I inherit this kind of issue? I hope they look at themselves and they say, well, whatever it is, this country is mine. My people helped to build it. And that means that my voice matters when it comes to how to make it better.
With making it better and just the landing of this, another thing that we just see happening is, in addition to women being empowered, women are just coming together to create kind of just this nucleus of strength that we already knew that we had, but now it's saving the world in a sense, just knowing that our women at the helm. With Hamilton, there's such strong messages of sisterhood and upliftment. And there are going to be lots of young girls who are going to be tuning in on Disney Plus to see those messages. So they're getting kind of like a dual education in seeing themselves. For those young lady theater geeks like yourself, when you were growing up, what do you hope they receive from watching it on Disney?
The three girls, and I actually, all the women in the company, we behaved like women behave at their best. We are in love with each other, and we represent every shade, every hair texture, every different strength, and and kind of natural ability. We are not one thing. And I mean, it's interesting because we're having these conversations about race again, and Black women, we are always double burdened, right? We are always, I mean, that's one of my frustrations, honestly, when I realize, again, we still haven't gotten this right. I just feel, sometimes it feels like we are last in line. We're standing with, white women over here dealing with sexism and Black men over here dealing with racism. And it always feels like they got to get it right for them before anyone cares about us. And my prayer is, when these girls are looking at Hamilton and they see this, they see themselves on the show, I hope that they don't buy that thing that I just said. You are not behind anybody else in this line. You are front stage center, and the things that affect you in this conversation matter now. Don't wait. Say her name. That's what I pray is communicated to them in every moment, especially when they're watching this show.
Are we having a cultural shift now where Black women are being prioritized? Is a conversation, are we just scratching the surface? Where do you think we are? In some ways, it seems like there's still a huge erasure of our contributions and just our I don't want to say sufferings, but sufferings from different things.
I agree, but I think I'm hopeful for us because we get shit done. We do. I mean, we get shit done for everybody else, and we get shit done for ourselves. And I'm hopeful for us because we are not settling for, not being heard. We're not settling for it. We are outspoken, and we know who voted in the last election. We know, right. We understand our power. I think more than ever, we understand that we got to show up. We got to show up. If anything's going to get done, we got to show up. And I think what's most important is that we remember we have to show up for ourselves. And I think we're going to do it. I think we already have been, and we're going to continue to do it. And I love the women that are leading the conversations. I'm glad we have the platforms on Instagram. I'm glad we have the platforms on Twitter. I'm excited about the women who are leading these conversations and how beautiful they are, organically, genuinely, they are who they are. And I'm excited about that.
So stepping apart from all this, we're waiting for this to come out and everything. How are you? What have you been up to? What have you been doing? I mean, we got a little pandemic going on. We got a culture shift going on. How are you doing? What have you been doing during this time?
It changes. The normal keeps changing every minute. I check in with the news just to see what's going on now. At this particular moment, because I tend to do better when there is something to focus on that's not me.
Mhm.
It's just something about, maybe we're all like that. I know that if it's about me, I tend to get stressed and anxious. But when I feel like somebody else needs me to show up for a reason, I show up. I'm not so crazy, and I do a better job for myself, helping
Right.
other people. So what makes me hopeful about what's going on right now is the fact that I'm diminished, and there is a call in the street that's more important, and more important than anything that I'm doing, and that, oh, it calms me down. So I there are times in this whole last couple months where I've been anxious. It's a strange time, and I'm a parent, I'm a mother, so I'm trying to not act like it's strange so that my children aren't confused. I'm homeschooling, you
Oof.
know,
Yes,
trying to figure out how
Lord.
to keep my hair colored, by myself. You know what I'm
Same.
saying? I was a 50s housewife for a couple months, which was really challenging, cooking every single meal. Like, my
In
son would come
addition.
downstairs talking about, I want mac and cheese. I'm like, can't you have a sandwich for
Right.
lunch?
Can
How
have
many
some
meals
hot
a day?
dogs in there.
I went and got some. I ordered some hot dogs. So that a lot of that was going on. But at the minute, because I have something to do, it's so good for my soul.
Mhm.
I start my day praying. You
Amen.
know what I mean? Praying that that the things I'm worried about, and the ways my mind is racing, are that it's about things that actually matter. Because you know what we can do? We can work really hard on things that don't matter, right?
Say that again for the people in the
You know
back.
what I'm saying? I'll say I can be up all night long, you know, working and slaving over things that don't matter. And so what I've been doing for the last week, because that's about as much as I can give you as now, that's now for me,
Mhm.
is trying to start my day with a prayer that just says, Lord, please help me prioritize. Please give me the perspective to just focus on things that actually matter, because I can be stressed out about anything. So please let it be for the good of the world, for the good of my people, for the good of my sisters, for the good of your kingdom. That's what I pray for before I start spiraling into my crazy.
Yeah, a lot is happening that people don't realize. Even as creatives, you still have lives outside. There's still children who want macaroni and cheese,
Oh
and
yeah,
and
girl.
and households that need to be tended to. So lastly, in the household, I have an idea what we should be binge watching. If you're binge watching anything, that's driving me crazy too. Have you been
Who is
having
it? What
issues
is
with
it?
fireworks?
Oh my God, girl. You know what? Are you in Harlem?
No, I'm in Inglewood, California.
What? It's happening there too?
Every single night. And I knew I should have closed my window
Oh my
before we
God, don't
started,
close it.
but
You know
it's
why?
crazy.
You know what? It's a sign of the times. It's a sign of the times. It's so crazy. I didn't know till this moment that was happening in the West Coast as well. On the East Coast, all day, all night long, girl.
It's out of
It's
control.
crazy.
You could go on Twitter right now and say, who's getting sick of the fireworks in their neighborhood? And I guarantee you, nearly someone from every state in this country is going to pop up like, where are they? The conspiracy theorists in me are like, they're trying to
Yeah,
have us give us PTSD. What is going on?
I
Like
know.
to distract us, but we have to stay
But
focused.
we will stay focused. We
Mhm.
will.
We will. Well, I thank you so
I
much
just
for
want
your
to say one
time.
more thing. Can you
Of
mind if I
course.
add? Because what I'm up to right now, is kind of bigger than the things that are going on in my own head.
Mhm.
There's two things I wanted to share. One is EduHam. There is a component of Hamilton
Mhm.
that is an educational component. And basically, they had Title I schools come in once a month to wherever Hamilton is, whatever community it is, and they do a performance for them, just a performance just for those kids.
Wow.
And then those kids, have prepared their own presentations, spoken word, poetry, singing about some point in history that they love, and they do it on the stage. It's a beautiful thing that Hamilton was already doing. And then they got a voter registration at the end. It's beautiful. But the theaters are dark now, right? And so that, so what happened is that went online. And so what I'm kind of scooping right now, which is pretty exciting, is we are working to try to find a way to broaden Edgeham, to be much more specifically, to include the voices of people of color, to include the voices from that time, of people of color, the writers, Phyllis Wheatley, the people that were writing at that time that you don't necessarily hear in Hamilton. We're really, really excited about that. We're working really hard on all kinds of ways we can really be, really be a value and a resource to the community. And, it's all in the beginning stages, but I'm excited about it. And I hope everybody looks for it and checks it out.
I think that's going to be amazing. With you saying that, it made me think of my daughter is 16 and her best friend is obsessed with Hamilton, absolutely obsessed with it. And her name is Maya.
Hi, Maya.
I'll just send that to her. She'll be every word, every lyric. When I told her I was going to talk to you, she nearly teared up. So she's,
oh my goodness. Maya, we are connected by our love of this musical and our love of universal love and truth. So I'm just going to say one thing to you, and you know what it means. Work!
Oh, thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate you so much. I'm so excited that so many people are going to get a chance to see this now. We're going to get the word out there about Edgeham. People can be involved and donate or anything, any way they can be involved. We'll make sure that they are on the lookout for it.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. Take care of yourself, girl. Don't you let them fireworks distract you from all that you are doing to lift us up.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.